Yeah, what did you make of the two matches?
Oh, look, I thought we put ourselves in the contest, but I think I've said it at length, both pre-match and throughout the series, is that you've got to be good for long periods of time, and we just haven't been able to do that. So I thought today's game, I thought 30 over mark, we were right in there with a shout. We were pretty close to our targets that we set at the innings break, and then to lose, big cluster of wickets, you can't afford to do that. So that's going to be a bit disappointing, but that's what we've got to learn and reflect on moving forward. Obviously now qualification's out of our hands a little bit, which isn't ideal, but we've got none but ourselves to blame. So yeah, we'll see how things pan out over the next couple of weeks and see where things lie ahead.
Yeah, what do you think the missing piece might be to be able to chase down that sort of total against Australia?
Oh, look, I think that's going to be the new pass score in women's cricket. We've probably seen it gradually increase over the last couple of years, and I think for us it's just a big partnership. I think obviously we didn't have anyone really kick on. Obviously Sue's got to 50, unfortunately got out. So we've looked the part. It's just about how can we kick on, and that's as a batting group. That's something we've spoken at length about is, when it's your day, you cash in and make the most of it. So for us, that's really what it's going to be about, I think, is just someone having a day of it. We've seen it with the Aussie teams. Obviously Belzy was outstanding, and then Ash today was probably the difference. So yeah, it's little things, but you've got to be able to do it well and do it under pressure.
And Bella James had another good, solid game today. How do you feel about the way she's gone in the series, and is it a good sign to be unearthing her and Georgia Plummer waiting to come back as well?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's the exciting thing now is we're starting to build a bit of depth as well. We're probably not quite like Australia, where you've got a factory line just waiting for players to come in. So for us to have someone like Bella who looked really comfortable, I think that's probably the most pleasing thing, is how comfortable and confident she looked out there against one of the best bowling attacks in the world. So certainly hope she takes a lot of confidence out of that. And as you mentioned, we've got Georgia Plummer still to come back in, and there's going to be some fights for spots, which is only a good thing for this group. So yeah, really pleasing for her. And again, obviously our next international assignment isn't until March against Sri Lanka, so a bit of time now for players to go back and to really make a mark at domestic cricket.
Absolutely, and I know you'd rather go to a World Cup directly, but is there something of an advantage of having to go to a qualifier and just playing more cricket and really defining your one-day game before you hopefully do get to that World Cup next October? Yeah,
certainly if that happens, and we do have to go to the qualifier, that's certainly how we'll be looking at it, as the opportunity to play more cricket. Obviously with the FTP sort of running out, there's probably not too much international cricket scheduled for next year, so any cricket that we can play, especially in different conditions, obviously we don't know where those qualifiers are yet, but we'll be looking at as another opportunity to, exactly as you say, is to really fine-tune our one-day game and to play together. I think we've seen when we spend long periods of time together, we continue to get better and better. So for us, yeah, if that happens, we'll sort of be watching and waiting what happens, but yeah, we'll see that as a real opportunity.
What does the next period look like for you? I know the next series aren't until March, but you've got, I guess, domestic stuff coming up?
Yeah. So we jumped straight into our Super Smash, our T20 domestic competition, which is great for us. Obviously playing double headers alongside the men's, and over summer period as well. I think we saw some pretty good crowds here in Wellington, despite the weather not being that summery. But yeah, it's again a really good opportunity for these white fin players to go back and to play in that and to dominate. That's certainly something that we really ask of the team, is to go out there and dominate both the runs, wickets and in the field, and be real leaders in their group. So yeah, that's probably for the next 6 weeks, and then obviously WPL's on for those that go across, and then yeah, straight into Sri Lanka and then the Aussie series straight after that.
Thanks. I guess how important is the next window of Super Smash for other players looking to put their hand up for this white fin side?
Yeah, well, I think we saw with Bella James' inclusion into this side how important domestic cricket form is, and those opportunities present themselves when you're banging on the door with performances at the domestic level. So it's a real opportunity for those players that are wanting to make that next level, that next step up, to to do that in domestic cricket, and hopefully they've seen that with players being rewarded the last couple of years who've performed well, hopefully get the call up to the White Ferns. Great stuff.